talking about Japanese wrestling 45 years ago, 40 years ago, whatever it may be, thinking about wrestling today in the States and wrestling in the past in the States, considering the problems you and me and others have with a variety of things around wrestling, is the problem the wrestlers or is the problem the current crop of promoters? Because when you think about the change in the business in Japan, for instance, obviously losing network TV was a big deal. But things kind of kept on going a certain way. When Baba died, everything changed.
Yeah.
Inoki was alive for a while, but he lost power, but things changed. New Japan became very different than what it originally was and whatever he was trying to turn it into for a while there. When you look at the problems in the States, is it the problem that anyone in a t-shirt could be a promoter? Not to say that wardrobe matters, but that anyone could be a promoter versus someone who, I'm looking at this as something I want to make a profit with. I want you guys to work for me, but you're working for me. You can't do what you want. Who's at fault, the wrestlers or the promoters?
I think there's enough blame to go around. It started with the dying off of the territories because of the conglomeration of Vince and WCW in the United States. It gave an opportunity for every knucklehead who thought he could run a show and do it better, some with great intentions and with great results, and some with great intentions and horrible results, and all manner of in between. They thought they could do it, and there was a place to do it. There was an opening. Because as what we're going to talk about in a few minutes, there was no live wrestling being suddenly presented to people who were used to goddamn live wrestling all the time. And so promoters, yes, and you can't blame some of the wrestlers who have never been taught properly about, I'm not talking about how to do a monkey flip. I'm talking about taught properly about what the business is, what it's supposed to be, how it works, how to think about it. But in that same point, that only goes so far where you can't have any sympathy for a fucking moron when you can't say, well, he was never taught not to roll around in broken glass. It only goes so far. So I think, yes, a lot of it was the promoters. And we mentioned even at a higher level, Paul Lee. Because of ECW, we're still stuck with furniture 25 years later. Because of Vince, 40 years later, we're still stuck with bodybuilders getting more chances than talented in-ring performers. So good or bad or indifferent, a lot is attributed to the promoters in wrestling because they're the ones in control. But at the same time, to me, you can't blame every wrestler for not knowing the entire history and not being a psychological genius because they couldn't ride in a car with fucking Terry Funk for 5 years straight. But at some point, you have to assume that some nitwit, just got in the business because he could do fucking trampoline tricks and doesn't give a shit about being a star, drawing money, or whether anybody's laughing at him or the business or not. So there's a sweet spot in there where everybody gets a little bit of a blame.
All right. Well, before any more blame goes around here, Jim, we've talked about a lot here, some things that are distressing, some things that are bothersome. Of course, the sad passing of Koichi, the sad existence of Colin Thompson, a variety of things. Some people out there in the cult of Cornette have problems dealing with maybe a stressful day, maybe an injury from some athletic event, maybe they need help sleeping, and we have the perfect people to tell them about.
Well, it's, stress, it's a heaviness. It weighs on you. It's like every morning, as soon as you wake up, you open your eyes, you look up, you go, hi, heaviness. I see you're going to be fucking with me early today. Because a lot of people it's tough being a person. And a lot of people are stressed these days. They got things going on. You need to control the stress. You need more calm. You need more focus and concentration instead of running around willy-nilly like a chicken with his head cut off, like some kind of crazy person with their head on fire. And you need a good night's sleep to recharge your batteries. All these things are common benefits of CBD. And that's not a TV network, folks. That's a very important plant-based solution to all your problems. And where better to go for CBD than CB Distillery, which they have CBD in their name. So you know they know something about it. It's not just some random gas station where you're going to pick up some trucker pills. These people, they're professionals. They know what they're doing. A full range of carefully formulated CBD and other plant-based solutions can be found at cbdistillery.com. And as a matter of fact, all these things are packed with whole body healing plant compounds and vital nutrients. Now, these things grow naturally in the ground, and then they perk their little buds up through the dirt, seeking water from the rain and sun from the sun. That's generally where you get your sun. And then they blossom into things that can help us in our daily life because they're natural, coming from the soil that has been tilled and farmed. If you need better sleep, 90% of customers report better sleep with CBD. Could you be more calm? 81% say CBD helps with stress and anxiety. If you're suffering pain after exercise, or like me, you just skipped the exercise and went straight to the pain, 80% report less pain after physical activity. And as far as the focus and concentration, 2% of the people polled say that they could stare at their fireplace for 10 minutes and start a fire.
That is not true, and that is not part of the copy here, and that is not part of any poll that was conducted by the fine people at CB Distillery. And hey, did we tell everyone about their fine products?
You didn't get the updated copy where they got that? That's a late breaking news item.
Where did you get the updated copy?
Well, I got it from Hazel. That's who I got it from. And I'll tell you something else. He was so alert because he had a good night's sleep that after he stared at his fireplace for 10 minutes and a fire started, when the rest of his house caught on fire, he remembered 911's number off the top of his head.
None of this has happened, from Hazel giving you any of this to the 911 call. Well, again, let's go back to a good night's sleep for those who need it.
And 100% clean ingredients, no artificial colors or flavors or preservatives. How would you preserve CBD anyway?
Well, how do you preserve anything?
Well, I generally pickle it in some fucking formaldehyde, but I don't think that's natural, so I'm not sure how they're preserving this stuff. But it's recommended by Dr. Kevin Fry, a Mayo Clinic trained internist. He used to work with Dr. Ken Ramey. And also, he's a preventive health specialist. That means he prevents more health for people.
No, that's not what that means.
Than the average layman. No, he's a specialist. He has gone to school to learn how to prevent health.
No,
and he says, take this.
No, what it means is he has gone to school to learn how to guide you so that you can prevent bad health.
I explained mine easier. It sounded like I was telling the truth,
it wasn't true.
You were lying.
You
were the one
easier,
stuttering.
But you were the one lying.
Well, no, I wasn't. If he's a specialist in preventive health, then he must know better than anybody how to prevent health.
How to prevent bad things from slipping in.
Don't get on his bad side, or he's got all the tricks on you. You're going to be gone.
There are no tricks. You won't be gone. No one will be gone.
There are 2 million satisfied customers of CB Distillery.
They're here.
I'll tell you that. They're here.
They're not gone.
They're going to be here for a while because they're taking stuff from CB Distillery.
Dr. Kevin Fry.
That's right. If you're frustrated with a health concern that's not getting better, try CBD. Now, I don't think that extends to blood loss. If you're experiencing right now blood loss that's not getting better, I would advise not trying CBD as my first option. But if you're just sore and achy, not resting well, not focusing, not concentrating, just having a brain full of effluvia, well, I think you need to talk to these people. Or don't even talk to them. Don't bother them. They're busy. They're trying to help people all over the world. Just go to their website.
Yeah,
cbdistillery.com and enter my code. What is my code, you would ask? Well, I'll tell you.
Son of a bitch.
As soon as I go to the other copy, that's when I'll remind myself of what my code is. Is it on here? No, this is the one that's the same. Apparently. So I'll vamp a little bit more until I go back down here. Does the code does the code JCE sound like it works for you, Brian? On this one?
I think on this one, it is the code JCE and you get 20% off. What a code it is.
Yes. Go to cbdistillery.com, enter my code JCE for a 20% discount. Now, that's not 20% off satisfaction. That's not 20% off results. That's not 20% off the way it's going to make you feel, baby. That's 20% off how much it's going to cost you. That's 20% off of what's coming directly out of your ass. Both of your gluteus maximi. So if I were you, I would take advantage of this opportunity while it is available and go to cbdistillery.com, promo code JCE for 20% off. I got a cramp in my side. I think I need some CBD.
Well, let's wait until after the show, but that sounds like a great suggestion. Once again, CB Distillery. Don't forget, cbdistillery.com, promo code JCE for 20% off.
Who could forget that promo code?